Okay, I'm here today to show you what I use to film my videos, how I use it, so that you can do the same thing and get excellent results of your riding, your mountain biking, canoeing, whatever it is. This is the foundation of what I use. So when I'm out having merry old time on that thing, I'm recording it all with this GoPro Hero 6. You can do your own research as to what GoPro works best for you. I found out this one was one of the last ones they made before they started experiencing software issues, overheating issues, glitches where you lose or corrupt your footage when it's recording for long periods of time. And obviously if you're hitting the trails, you just want it on while you're riding, you don't have to faff around. So this one is a really good reliable choice that doesn't overheat. So with these modern GoPros, guys, they are waterproof. You don't need that big bulky plastic see-through case. That's purely for diving underwater at depth. So what I have is this hard protective, this one's for a 7, it's the exact same model of camera in terms of dimensions. I have that on a standard slot-in mount that slots into my chin mount, and that seems to do the trick. So mounting options, right, I started with an Amazon special, you know, the ones that just strap around your helmet, but that very quickly broke and I realized that wasn't the way forward. I then bought this thing. This is a Dango Designs gripper mount. This thing is very good, it's very versatile, it grips onto a lot of things including helmets. Be careful because certain helmets, like my one, it doesn't work too well on. I keep this with me in case my primary mount fails or I want someone else to take my camera and film themselves doing something. I can just chuck it on this, they can clip it on the front of the helmet, and we're good to go. The mount I've ended up sticking with is this one from Chin Mounts, as they make it specific for my helmet. Ignore the dodgy mounting, I redid the 3M tape. It's solid, it's not going anywhere, and it gives me a good sleek profile. This one you find tends to hit your chest if you look down, whereas this one, it's nice and tidy. It doesn't really ruin the look of the helmet. It doesn't get in your way, and it's well made. Now, a big thing is battery life, because they do not last that long, guys. It's probably 30-40 minutes, I'm not sure, depending on your resolution. But the resolution I film at, it runs out quite quick. So I have this thing here. This is a Telsin battery charging box. It's a good case to keep your batteries in. But more importantly, I have it hooked up to this power bank. And essentially, when I swap a battery round, so my battery's died, I take it out, I put in the dead battery with the charged ones, and then I set it up so that it's charging. This one's charged, these two aren't, and then while I'm riding along, this is charging my battery. I open this up and the one I put in before has already recharged, and it's perfect. I just keep cycling the two GoPro branded batteries, and these off brands I keep as backups. So I haven't had a chance to use this yet, but this is just a little gripper mount. You can mold it to any sort of surface or just use it as a normal tripod. And this is what I would use and will use when I'm, say if you want a shot on the ground of you flying through a puddle, you know, or you can wrap it around a tree branch or whatever to get third person stationary shots. Now this thing has definitely seen better days, but this is probably the least expensive and most effective modification you can make to your filming setup. This thing I think is about £5 on eBay or wherever, and you can get them camera specific. I hacked at mine a bit here just to give me a better view of the screen when it's on, and so the corner there so that I can see the red light so I know I'm filming. This thing is a wind reduction foam cover. This has made every difference. So for when you're filming, default the camera is set up that when it hears wind noise it switches to mono audio using a single microphone to try and reduce wind noise. This sounds awful. I can't stress it enough. It's terrible for making YouTube videos. So you set it to stereo only, so you get nice stereo clean audio, but then the slightest bit of breeze or as soon as you're going along at any kind of speed, especially on the road, you cannot hear a single thing you're saying. You cannot hear the bike, you cannot hear anything. It's just this thing, I was skeptic. I put it on, I did a test on the road, I got to 60 mile an hour. I was doing some talking, some tests. I watched back the footage and I was so happy to hear every part of my voice, the ambient noise around me. I could hear every part of my exhaust note. It was just perfect. It makes all the difference. It's really worth investing in. You may be wondering what this lens is that's on my camera. This is a clear polarizing lens, which effectively just gives you better definition of the clouds of water, of certain details. It acts like polarizing sunglasses. It also provides you a lens that can take scratches, it can take water on it, mud and stuff, and while you're riding you can just pop it off with one hand, turn it around, check that it's clean, or wipe it off and then pop it back on, which I find really useful. I bought this in a pack of ND filters. That stands for neutral density. What they effectively do is shade the light coming into your camera, allowing you to record at a set shutter speed, which creates this awesome motion blur, immersive cinematic effect. You can't do that without these, or it just overexposes. So what you see before you is my bare bones setup for when I go out. This is all I take with me. I don't really take the tripod, to be honest. The only other thing I do take with me is a low alpine camera bag. In that I have a couple spare SD cards. The one I use now is a Kingston 127 gigabyte. That thing is perfect. When I'm recording at 2.7K, 30 frames per second, it gives me about 5 hours of footage, and that's more than enough for the rides I go on. I used to faff around trying to switch over 64 gigabyte and 32 gigabyte ones. I'd be dropping them or fumbling them, and when you're in a rush and you have a quick break and everyone's just having a sip of water, you want to pop it out, swap the battery out, chuck the battery in a thing, and that be it. When you're trying to take the little SD card out and swap them over, that it just takes so long and it's just not worth doing. So spend that tiny extra bit of money, I think it was 17 quid or something. Now, if you want to see exactly how I set all of these things up and how I use them, and comparisons of things like with and without the wind thing, so you know if it's worth it for you, I will show you how the ND filters work. I will dive into all of my settings, because there is a hell of a lot of things you can do in there to save battery life, to get the best footage for what you're doing. And I will be doing a video very shortly explaining all of this setup, how I use it, all of the settings, the best way to record these videos that you make. So if you want to see that, guys, drop a like on this video so I know you want more. I will make that for you if this does well. I will leave links to the products that you can see in this video below to make it easier for you to find them. If you just go on there, you can grab them straight away. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.